Joining us now is Matt Yonka. Matt is a trade union leader and representative of thousands of skilled and talented workers represented by Virginia State Building and Construction Trades Council. And he had a big rally earlier in the week at the state capitol in Virginia. Matt, good to have you with us, man.
Good morning, John. Thanks for having me again.
All right. Tell us about your rally in Richmond and how things went, who turned out. Just give us an overview.
Sure. What we did was we obviously had lobbying up there for some folks. And I thought, in light of all of the negative rallies that are going on, I thought, why not host a positive rally and bring my labor leaders together and union members and bring them out and show people that there's something to be excited about, not all on the negative side.
Look, I thought that was a brilliant idea, and what your rally was centered on was the Atlantic Coast Pipeline and how many jobs that was going to bring to Virginians working in the trades, union workers in the trades. Can you elaborate on that for our audience, Matt?
Sure, absolutely. In the state of Virginia, throughout the western part of the state and even down into Chesapeake, this job is going to bring about 8,800 construction jobs to our state. And once it's built, approximately 2,200 permanent, sustainable jobs will be made with this job. And not to mention, jobs further down the road when manufacturing companies and product companies are looking at places to go. They're going to look at us and they're going to see that the gas pipeline is a sustainable source of energy for them, and they're going to build here.
So you had a rally. A lot of your union workers and representatives were there with you in Richmond. But here's the thing. This is a nonpartisan issue, right? I mean, if you just take the Hampton Roads area, I've never seen this ever. Every single representative in the General Assembly in Southeast Virginia is behind the pipeline. Now, trying to get people like Senator DeSteph in Virginia Beach, very conservative, and Senator Mamie Locke in Hampton, or Louise Lucas, getting them together on the same issue is almost impossible. It's like herding cats, right? But
it really is. It really is. I can tell you firsthand that it is. And to see those folks come together on a project like this, it just shows it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so you had this rally in order to get people fired up about the pipeline. As you know, I'm a big advocate of it, but we keep waiting because there's still this pocket of opposition or that pocket of opposition. And some of the people, and I want you to address this, Matt Yonka, some of the people are saying, look, these are temporary jobs for a short period of time. They're not sustainable, so we have a few months' work, pipeline's done, and then we're back to where we were. How do you respond to that criticism?
Well, I can respond to it in two ways. The first part is on the construction side of that. Every single one of our jobs in construction is temporary. We build something from the ground up. We finish it. We turn over a completed product on time and on budget, and we move on. That's where the misnomer comes in on the construction side for a temporary job. Of course it's temporary. Once it's built, we don't need to be there anymore.
Right.
So we move on to the next construction job. On the other side of that, the temporary jobs, I don't understand how you can call like a Microsoft who's come to Boydton and needs the sustainable energy that the gas pipeline is going to bring, where they're employing thousands of people out there in a county and in a city that was otherwise desolate at one time. They have a lake out there. I guess it was good in tourism for a couple of months, but now they have Microsoft out there who's out there because they know that the gas pipeline is coming. Those are not temporary jobs. So it's kind of twofold. You use the construction word, and you try to get away with it. And the opposition is so uneducated when it comes to this process. I think that people are just trying to rally nowadays. Example, and I won't take too much time, but example, I watched an interview where we had some coverage for our rally for the pipeline and then a rally against, and a young lady was on there, and I disagree with the pipeline. I'm not African American and I'm not Indian, but those people have land and they're going to lose it. And I'm just like, Well, I don't even understand what that means. I mean, I don't get it. I think people are just protesting and protesting, and that's protest, and that's exactly why we had a pro-jobs rally to show folks that people can get together for a good cause as well. And I think that's what needs to be highlighted here.
I tell you what, Matt, you're spot on with that. You have these protesters now. They don't even know why they're protesting, nor do they have any of the facts or the issues at their fingertips. Normally, back in my day, and I grew up in the 60s, Vietnam, I mean, when you protested, you knew exactly why you were protesting. I mean, you were motivated by an issue. You knew all the facts. When I went to college, I remember they did this sit-in there where a whole bunch of students closed an area of our college. It was the liberal arts wing of Fairleigh Dickinson back in the 70s. I mean, I didn't participate in it, but I got it, all right? And everybody that was there wanted us out of Vietnam. They didn't think it was the right thing to do. They were passionate about it, and I got it. But you have these people now protesting, like you said, they can't even articulate why they're there. They have no idea. It's just, I'm opposed to whatever. I mean, the pipeline is taking Indians' land? It's like, what? That was in Dakota.
Yeah.
That's already been solved. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and it got coverage. That's the amazing part. Like, media. I got, and not to jump on Trump's side of it, but media. Stop putting this stuff out there. These people don't know what they're talking about. I mean, if they don't, why are you going to edit it and put it on the air? I don't get it. I don't get it. Tell the truth, tell the facts, and get on with it.
Because it's fake news that is fitting a narrative and an agenda that one particular side wants. And look, the pipeline is a nonpartisan issue. Now, I know at your rally on Monday at the Capitol, you had as many Democrats there as Republicans. This is a jobs. Matt, I say this every day. Jobs and a paycheck. A paycheck is not red and it's not blue. You know what it is? It's green. Okay? Jobs are nonpartisan. Economic prosperity and energy is not an ideological, philosophical argument. You either have energy or you don't. You either have a job or you don't. It has nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats or Trump or McCain or Pelosi or anything else. The whole thing is ridiculous. We need to get this pipeline in Southeast Virginia so we can do three things. One, get immediate jobs for your members to construct the pipeline. Number two, get the energy in the area that we need so companies can come and tap into it to create what? Additional jobs and economic opportunity for the people in the area. And number three, in order to sustain that so that they stay and don't move out. I mean, how simple is that, Matt?
That's right. And one of the other things that I want to point out too is on the opposition side of it. It was cold on Monday, and I guarantee you those folks in Charlottesville, when they were done carrying their banners and following a leader or whoever chased them around that day, I guarantee you that they went and sat somewhere that had heat running, and that is a product of what energy brings to you. The lights come on, the heat comes on. I bet they were nice and warm after their rally, but that's a product of what we're trying to get done here.
Right, and they're getting the energy through a pipeline someplace. I'm probably standing on a pipeline now. And
that's right.
This is the other thing with these pipelines is people don't realize, there's a pipeline. Okay, you have to get energy from point A to point B. You have to. Otherwise, you have a fire, right? You have a log cabin and a pot-belly stove. You have to get the energy. So you can either transport it by a truck, a train, or a pipe. That's it. Those are your only options, right? So pipelines have been proven to be the safest method to get the natural gas in. The whole thing is ridiculous, but it's what we have to deal with today. I'm with Matt Yonka. He's president of the Virginia Building and Construction Trades Council, and we're fighting for the ACP, or the Atlantic Coast Pipeline. The pipeline would traverse a 600-mile route from West Virginia through Virginia to the Tar Heel State. Under the proposal now, approximately 55 miles, I think, Matt, of the pipeline would go through Augusta County. That seems to be the holdup because the protesters on the other side are saying that it has to do with landowner rights, and you got environmentalists and the normal hodgepodge of professional paid agitators out there. But if the pipeline, if they have to buy the land, they're getting a fair price, right? So what's the problem here?
Well, and to that point, I don't understand. So here's what happens. They come in, they do the construction, and yes, it's dirty for a little bit, but they go back over, they clean it all back up, they plant grass on it. I mean, the land is still their land. The utility pays them for the property, but yet the people still own the property. They can still plant on it, they can still farm on it. The only thing that they can't do is build a structure or plant trees on it. Other than that, I mean, the land is still theirs. And in most cases, you don't even know it's there. So, I mean, I'm not sure where the holdup is. I think it's just, people want to argue with something and they want more money. And like you said, unfortunately, the green is what runs it. And these folks are holdouts, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But at the end of the day, they still go into their house and turn their lights on. And if we can't give them energy, I mean, where are you going to get it from?
Well,
we've been buying this stuff from overseas. We've been getting it from everywhere. It's about time that we start building stuff and doing it right here in our America.
Well, look,
in the United States.
Matt, if we didn't have a pipeline, you can take this property rights, eminent domain thing to the nth degree, and you wouldn't have a highway. The whole argument is asinine. You wouldn't have anything. You would have no pipelines, no highways, no interstates, no roads. You wouldn't have anything, right?
Right.
Because somebody owns something, you want to build a highway, they have to buy it. The government has to buy it. But look, what's happening now is, Matt Yonka, you nailed it. You've got this 55-mile stretch. That's the only piece that's incomplete, that hasn't been signed off on. So of a 600-mile pipeline, you got 50 miles through Augusta County. So you have people that are now know they have leverage, so now they're holding out for more money. That's what this whole thing is about. And it reminds me of a story in New York City, where I'm from, when Trump was putting up the Hilton, I think, at the Grand Central Station. He had purchased all of the land in the area, and so people started to figure something was going on. And there was this one little parking lot. It was tiny. It was like, it fit 50 automobiles. One little parking lot, and the guy wouldn't sell to Trump because that was in a prime spot where he had to have the land for the Grand Central Station. So he ended up holding out. He ended up getting 3 times per square foot what everybody else got, because at the end of the day, Trump had no choice. So, I mean, that's what they're doing. At the end of the day, they can be protesting and talking about environment. It's all about the money.
Well, and I want to hit on one point real quick, because you nailed it when you said you have bipartisan support on this. And I can't tell you, I spend every day in Richmond, and I know what it's like up there. And to have, I got to give a shout out to all the delegates, the senators. I mean, and I know you have your differences with the governor, and a lot of people do, but all of these folks have stepped up, and I want to thank all of them, because they have stood side by side and said, this is best for our state. This is what we need. And for everybody to come together, like you said, mixing the blue and the red, whatever, take all that off the table. At the end of the day, they know that this is best for our state, and this is what's going to get jobs here in our state. And it is fantastic to see everybody working together, knowing that this is what's best for us.
Absolutely. And the Governor McAuliffe, has been a chief enthusiast and an advocate of this pipeline, and we commend him for that, as is Senator Mark Warner. Let's not forget that. Warner's been behind it, U.S. Senator Mark Warner. So, I mean, there's a lot of Democrats behind it. It's absolutely the right thing to do. Matt, keep fighting for what you believe in. And I know when the General Assembly is in session, every day is a lobby day for Matt Yonka.
That's right.
All right, Matt. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Jonna. Thanks for having me.
Again, we've been with Matt Yonka. He's the president of the Virginia Building and Construction Trades Council, and fighting for jobs for his people and for energy in Virginia. Matt, keep up the good work. This is the John Fredericks Radio Network. I'll be right back.